Not much pump up there, is there?
No.
Are those rebuildable or not?
We just did.
Is that
Clean the crap out of them. Get some light oil, that'd be nice. We don't have any light oil around here. Yes, we did. I did find Dad's oil. Don't know what's in there, but looks like ATF.
your light flashed off again? I saw it flash.
Probably Marvel Mystery Oil.
Oh yeah.
So that's the check valve, doesn't really do much. So there's a check valve, just pop with that. Let's see what we
Fancy.
knock knock.
You know, it's ugly and gross out here.
Oh, hi.
Boy, what a collection.
How have you been?
Hiding.
Alright, cut that off.
Okay, so.
No good ever comes from that, does it? Means I got volunteered for something else. Table's getting chewed up. Okay. Get all 4 lifters oiled lightly with light oil. They're either going to work or they're not. And rest assured, they won't at some point, because it's a Harley. They don't work for shit. Okay, we got screws for these somewhere?
Over there.
Ah, right there. Perfect. And they go down right there in those holes, right there. We had some gaskets I remember I kept out for this application. They resemble these. On my favorite gasket board. No. Okay, these are clean. Got the bores cleaned out. Make sure I did a good job. Surely I did a good job. Surely by accident, of course.
Of course.
Okay, those are good. So now we're ready to snot it all up and put it together. Liquid snot. Okay. Gasket cinch does tend to eat paint slightly. See?
It sure does.
Because of the xylene or MEK or acetone, whatever the hell's inside this stuff. Probably some of the stuff that California doesn't know about, so it's okay.
Right.
Otherwise you couldn't have it here. It's a good thing we got black gaskets, we got some black going. Which one's this one?
I have no idea.
You don't know?
Whichever one it fits.
It's this one. Rear.
Is the rear.
Or not. There's a whole lot. There it is. Appears to be not. It's the other way it goes. Can't go any other way. Let's be the front one then. Goes this direction. That looks better.
What I meant.
It's the front one. It's the other rear one.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. They made for it. Probably was. sure the oil hole's not plugged.
That's a good idea.
Gasket cinch usually doesn't do that, but sometimes if you put enough on there, it will. This one lines up a lot better on this one. I think it goes on this one.
All right.
Now for the fun part. Let me get oily. So we got to lubricate the rollers that we cleaned up to get all that packing residue off of there. So you got to work the oil in the inside of these things. Now, if you want to stick in a tub of oil and let it sit for a week and a half, you can.
Okay.
I don't like doing that myself, but someone might like doing that. It does work its own, as you can tell. Quit making the rattling noise. These look like new now. So it cost you about 2.5 new rollers to rebuild all 4 used ones.
Okay.
That's the cost savings.
Hmm.
About 1.5 lifters. Assuming you can find the rollers anymore. It's getting harder and harder to find. And they keep raising the prices, so. But they raise the price of lifters too. So it all makes sense.
And you said earlier you cannot rebuild the aftermarket ones?
The big roller ones you can't rebuild because you can't buy parts. They purposely don't sell you parts. See, this finger's too fat to go in there anymore. So we move over to the next one down. You know, when you flatten your fingers too much, they get too big.
Quit hitting it with a hammer.
Is that what the reason was? But it
Okay.
felt so good.
Sure it did.
If you let the paint dry for at least a day before you work on it, it'll stay glossier. That's why it's starting to get semi-gloss. Taking the newness off of it. Okay, there's that. Now, let me grab this. Grab a pair of these. Lubricate them really good. Now, the flat spot goes toward the inside on a hydraulic. Now, this lifter here has some sharp edges on it. I swear I put all these in holes to check them, but obviously, you know that way. Don't block my tools. Obviously, this one here is failed the inspection procedure. Definitely not that one. Doesn't go that high up anyway, but Normally I like to hone all these things, but these rollers felt good, or lifters felt really good, but obviously they're not perfect.
So what's the reason the flat spot goes to the inside? Is there an oiler inside the block?
So the oil gets to it. That one works correctly, see. This one, still screwing with this a little bit. Some of the very top up here where it doesn't really wear, doesn't go up that high. Cam lift doesn't go that much. It's getting broken in. Whatever the high spot is, it's wearing in. Alright. If you don't screw around, just drop down in there. They go in there without dropping off. They're supposed to just push in, but they're not. Looks good. That one works good. So I got that one roller, it's being a pain. It's this one.
The intake side.
It doesn't matter which one it is, it just matters when it's being a pain.
Was it just the lifter?
Obviously got burrs on it someplace. Don't like it. Don't know where the problem is at, I just know there's a problem. Maybe something got dropped on it, made a burr, or wheel marks burr. Something. It's a nice dull file, so it's not really taking any metal off. Just picks off any high spots.
It's your polishing file.
Pretty much. She'll wipe all the skirt off that might be there. Much better. Seems to be a little tight spot right in one area, but right there it's good now. Just a matter of tuning it up a little bit. You wanted some more tension. So the oil goes through here and it feeds into the center of the block there on these. That's how it gets from one side to the other. But it'll still go across because it's got the feed up there. Because first it feeds through the first one, through that outer groove, then it goes in between the two flats. So even if you put them in backwards, they'll still get oil to them at some point. Just not a direct path. But that's okay. If they didn't put that groove all the way around the lifter, it would have a problem. Now you don't have to line the lifter blocks up with these because the heads are tapered. They self-align.
Okay.
New ones, you have to line them. See, originally you didn't have a problem. Harley got cheap, then they had a problem.
What year did they stop doing that?
Started doing what?
Stop doing the taper.
When they changed the Harley from non-Harley thread to modern shit.
Somewhere around twin cam.
Mid 77.
Oh, really?
mid-year change. Like most things they like doing in the middle of the year. So you see those 12-point headed bolts on there?
Mm-hmm.
Those are it. Or if you see Allens. Now the reason I got away from this is because the blocks crack out when you over torque them. Or when you chrome them too much, grind them too thin.
Didn't follow your rule. Tight, but not too tight.
I've broken more than my share of them. Sometimes they're pretty damn thin, so. Especially after being chromed about 15 times. See how thick this one is?
Yeah.
It doesn't break too bad. It's like these covers, they're still taper head. They crack. These are a lot thicker than the old covers, but they still crack if you overdo it. Kind of working in a little at a time. Hands down. Sometimes the blocks won't fit in case, and you tighten one side down and it snaps the ear off. Because you're being stupid. See, this one's pretty thin. This won't take much to make this one break. About that much torque. And it still didn't break. Oh, something wrong with it. Probably have to re-torque these after they put a few miles on it. Like most stuff, 50, 100 miles, you re-torque all this stuff. Glue on there or something. Alright, those are in there. Now make sure the lifters go up and down. They fall with gravity. Sometimes the blocks of the case are not flat. When you torque them down, it squeezes the block, twists it, locks up a lifter.
Oh. Okay.
You gotta make sure they go up and down freely. See how they go up and down freely? They drop with gravity.
Yeah.
Cam lifts them. They drop back down on their own, see? That's what you're looking for. Alright, so that's all working good. So these, just drop in the hole like that. So if you flip this motor over, they'll fall out. And you have some new corks floating around here somewhere. Always like putting new corks in there. If the cork doesn't fit tight in the block, it can leak around the outside of it.
Just make sure it's a tight fit cork.
Yeah, these aren't very tight fitting, they're just kind of semi-tight. Why are we missing one? There it is. Sometimes you got to push them in nice and tight. Those are the good ones. These ones are not really tight. There's an oil drain hole. Sometimes the hole's real close to the edge, so if it's loose fitting, it'll leak. If the hole's pretty far away from the hole, then the cork won't leak if it's a little loose. It's all about the quality of the parts, how they mix and match to each other. If you have stuff that mismatches, it doesn't work very well. Okay, so now they all go up and down and drop like they're supposed to.
Beautiful.
Everything works. This one locked. So these can go up and down. Something wrong with this one. It's not round. It's got a wear mark in it,
Okay.
so it jammed up. So it probably wouldn't have worked. Now it's free, so at least now it's not binding. That's that valve noise you hear when the lifters don't work. You got that much, you go about halfway down, you got that much in play in your valve train. That's why the hammer's so loud.
Oh.
It's like you hit it with a hammer. You are. Alright, so yeah, that one lifter was sticking. Alright, they might work, they might not, I don't know. We'll find out. A couple of those valves are a little sticky. Doesn't mean they won't work. You never know. You don't know until you put them in. I had better luck with old crappy used ones than new ones. So new doesn't make them any good. Alright, looks like a motor now.
It's getting there.
Now we need some parts to go on top of it. Do we need to use an engine stand or not?
I don't know. You're the boss.
Works for me without. Got one right there though if you want to use it.
Mhm.
You gotta clear all this crap out of the way. That's too much work. Okay, cylinders are next.